husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and do not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one portion of the family of man to assume among the people of the earth a position different from which they have hitherto occupied, a decent respect for the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes that impel them in such a course. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal.
There is nothing of greater importance to the well-being of society, men as well as women, than the true and proper position of women. Much has been said upon this subject. It has been a theme for ridicule. We may look for this from the ignorant, but from the intelligent?
Should the females be placed at a level of equality with males before the law? If so, let us petition for impartial justice for women. In order to ensure this equal justice, should the females, like the males, have a voice in appointing the lawmakers? If so, let us petition for women's right to suffrage.
The upper floor of our carriage house was fitted with beds for needy persons journeying along the road. We later turned it into a station for the Underground Railroad and gave safety and comfortable lodgings to many groups who were being helped to freedom.
The path of least resistance and least trouble is a mental rut already made. It requires troublesome work to undertake the alternation of old beliefs. We only think we are confronted with problems.
Yes, we hold these truths that all men and women are created equally, but when a long train of abuses evidence a design to recruit them under absolute despotism, it is their duty to throw off such government.
Caroline, I'm home. Come see what I have. I was downtown and all of Seneca Falls is talking about the Free Soilers in the meeting.
Abigail, where have you been? Not that I'm worried about you. She almost sent us out to see if I could find you.
Oh my goodness, Abigail, I just remembered. I was supposed to tell Mother that you're downtown.
She is most likely not going to improve. You're going to have to do better than that.
You are looking for Mother? She is looking for both of you. Mrs. Latham will be here soon. Mrs. Ashford says be ready to make your appearances.
I do not understand why Mother expects us to meet Miss Latham. She won't even notice if we're there. Besides, Father never makes his appearances.
Has anybody seen my umbrella? It may have rained later this afternoon. I must be out of here before that Miss Latham appears. Arthur, are you leaving? I told you, Miss Latham was stopping by this afternoon. Miss Latham here this very afternoon. I must have forgotten. I'm sorry, dear, but I must leave immediately to go down to the newspaper. Oh, Arthur, you know very well I promised Miss Latham you'd be here, so she could tell you all about the Free Soil Party's upcoming meeting.
Father, weren't you just telling us that
I was looking for my umbrella, yes. That is what I was saying.
No, Charles was going to say that you needed us to come down there and help you move those crates down at the newspaper.
Oh, yes, right you are, and we need to leave immediately. Mara, where's my umbrella?
No, Charles was saying. Did you know Charles? Did you say no, Charles? Okay, good. Let's see, I think we jumped around. Let's see. Oh, yes, right you are.
Oh, yes, right you are. And we need to leave immediately. Come along, boys.
Please make my apologies.
Oh, please make my apologies to Miss Latham.
Yes, tell him you're sorry, but we have to help Father. We promised that we would do this today.
Mr. Ashford, here is your umbrella.
You're ready, Father.
Come along, boys. I think I don't know how much longer those crates can stay stacked that way. Martha, how long do you expect Miss Latham to stay?
Not long, maybe half an hour. She said she was quite busy this afternoon. There's so much to prepare down in the Wesleyan Chapel.
Oh, what a shame. I think it'll be at least an hour. Boys, we should go out the back door. I think it would be much quicker.
Bye.
Bye, give all the rest of Miss Latham.
Mr. Ashford, your umbrella.
Did they think they'd fool us for an instant? An emergency at the newspaper precisely when Mrs. Latham was to arrive.
Sometimes I think they believe that we are not very smart.
They are sadly mistaken if that is the case. Mother, you look like you have a secret.
Oh, it's just that Miss Latham said she would be able to stay for a good long talk. Surely, Father and the boys will return in time to have the pleasure of her company.
How fortunate for them all. We had better hurry. She will be here any moment. Lucy, please go get the door. You girls help Laura finish setting up, and Mother, sit in a chair and look composed.
Here comes Annabella.
Come on, girls. I want to help with the tea cake.
I'll get the tea. The water's boiling.
There she is. Take a picture.
Mrs. Latham, Mr. Latham, William and Patrick have arrived.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was certain that you told me Mr. Ashford and the boys would be here this afternoon.
I knew that Otho and the boys I saw going down along this street track. Perhaps Patrick, Boy, or I should leave you later to discuss the convention.
Nonsense. Arthur and Charles have some business down in the newspaper, but I think they will return shortly. Besides, we have plenty of tea cake.
I will go and see if I can help. I love tea cake. Maybe we can stay for a little while.
I agree. Tea cake, please, Mother.
Good idea. Mrs. Stanton and Mrs. Mott say that the issues are not something that should only be of concern to women. They are speaking for rights of all.
In fact, today I was given a flyer. Women bring all voters into the world. Let women vote.
What about the tea cake?
That flyer was printed by a group of Quakers who are abolitionists and think women can help the cause. Perhaps we can stay and maybe Mr. Ashford will be able to see.
Please, sir.
This tea cake smells wonderful, Mother. It is still warm. I'll be glad to test it. Thank you, Mrs. Ashford, for the tea cake.
You're most welcome. Perhaps the children should go out into the kitchen. I have always believed children should be seen, not heard.
We would prefer the children to stay here with us, simply because the transcendentalists at the talk what we have a different view about them.
Oh, yes. We try whenever possible to include the children in our conversations. I know it sounds radical, but it is the new open method of raising children.
Oh my, I do not know what my husband would say about that. Sounds alarming.
I'm especially pleased that Mr. Frederick Douglass will be attending. His support of the movement for votes for women is quite important.
Yes, that is true. Both abolitionists and suffragists have much in common. They both believe in rights for all Americans.
I think the question is if the abolitionists would support women's cause. There's a sentiment that slavery must be abolished before any causes are taken up.
I understand that Mr. Douglass speaks from his heart as a freed slave. I hope he sees that if women were able to vote, we'd be able to help the abolitionist cause. I'm looking forward to hearing Mrs. Mott. I heard she's preparing a speech that will spark real enthusiasm. She'll speak from her heart.
May Patrick, Louise, and I be excused from being a part of this conversation now?
Yes, I think it will be quite educational.
Yes, Mother, may we be excused? I think I'm quite educated now. And boys, try not to dirty your clothes. Remember what happened while you were chasing frogs with that Murphy boy last week? Well, that was only because it was raining, and I fell in the pond.
And the frog would hold still, and it was really muddy.
Come on, William and Patrick, before we remind them of any more reasons why we should not go outside. Mother, you don't guess what we saw. Oh, pardon me. I didn't know we still had company.
What a surprise. Mr. and Mrs. Latham, I did not know you would be here this afternoon. Arthur, the Lathams have been talking about Mrs. Mott's and Mrs. Stanton's convention.
When we passed the train station today, we saw Mr. Frederick Douglass arriving. Mrs. Stanton was there to meet him.
So the two causes come together, the abolition of slavery and the women's right to vote.
I think we should say that it began 2 weeks ago at Mr. and Mrs. Hunt's home. When those 5 women gathered, it was for more than tea cake.
They were discussing who would lead the convention. They were even considering a woman.
I heard they decided that James Mott would lead the group.
Good afternoon. I did not realize you had company, Mr. Ashford.
Should I bring another cup and play?
That won't be necessary. I'd like to talk to you privately, if I may, Mr. Ashford.
Come on, Charles and George. Half of the policemen are going outside to play. Mother said it would be all right.
Let's stop in the kitchen. Come on. Lucy, is there more tea cake?
I think I could find something more.
Are you girls attending the convention? Abigail and I would, but Father's not certain of reason. He does not think women should be involved in politics. With the scheduled speakers, the topics will range from rights to vote, property rights, taxation, and child custody. Father feels it may be dangerous. Wouldn't that be wonderful? It sounds quite exciting.
Mr. Latham, would you care to join Captain Lamb and I? I think you'd be interested in what he has to say.
How do you do, Mr. Latham? There have been some serious allegations about the newspaper.
Wait a minute. Okay. Your father is a wise man, Caroline. We're not there yet. We aren't there yet. You skipped a whole page. Your father's a wise man. Go back over. There we go.
Your father's a wise man too. He is careful with the assessment. That's why he has such a fine job as the editor of the newspaper.
Serious.
This is a serious convention. Mrs. Stanton and Mrs. Mott say that are determined that Americans should work not only on the abolition of slavery, but for the rights of women as well.
But excuse me, Mrs. Merchant from next door is here. I think she has some news.
Oh, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Latham. I didn't know you were here. Perhaps I should come back later. Oh, Captain Lamb is here as well.
Here is some more.
Here's some more tea or tea cake. The children left a little before going outside. Thank you, Mara. Please, join us, Mrs. Marshall.
Thank you. I just came from downtown's turmoil. I'm not sure what to think. Mara, what do you think about this convention coming to Seneca Falls?
I'm not sure I should say Marilyn would be in May and all. Please excuse me.
Mr. Latham, would you care to join Captain Lamb? I think you'd be interested in what he has to say.
How do you do, Mr. Latham? There have been some serious allegations about the newspaper.
I find it hard to believe. Mr. Ashford is a fine editor in the most honorable tradition of the American newspaper.
Well, that may be, but some folks do not take kindly to the advertisement for Mrs. Stanton and Mrs. Mott's meeting tomorrow.
Are you telling me that it's against the law for me to run and print an ad in my newspaper for a meeting? It was written and paid for by some of Seneca Falls' leading citizens.
It may not be against the law to print it, but it is disturbing the peace. Several men have come into my office saying their wives will be not attending the meeting.
That is what I was going to tell you. They claim they would not have known about it if it wasn't for the advertisement in your paper.
Why, that is ridiculous.
Why, that is ridiculous. Even though it was only decided last week to have this meeting, the news of it has been spreading like wildfire.
Everyone is talking about it.
Mrs. Latham and I will be there. Captain Lamb, you should join the watch. And I'm certain you will find the speaker's interest inspiring.
Well, you know, my job is an elected position.
If you attend the convention, I can assure you there are plenty of men that would be sure to see that you were not reelected.
Captain Lamb, you should attend. If women get the right to vote, we will elect you.
I appreciate that, Miss Ashford. It is 1848, and I am up for re-election in 2 years. Does Mrs. Stanton think you will be able to vote by then? I think not.
Mrs. Stanton and Mrs. Mott have been saying that the women's right
to vote has been gaining in support. Perhaps women shall have the right to vote very soon.
Mr. Latham and I are going down to the newspaper. I want to make sure everything is secure.
This convention has been causing quite a stir.
If you don't mind, before I leave, I would like that cup of tea and maybe a piece of tea.
We will tell Mara to bring in more cake on our way out. We're helping set up for the convention. If Father will not let us attend, we will be of help before it begins.
You two should be careful. Perhaps some of that danger may happen.
Who knows? That would be so thrilling.
Oh dear, Miss Ashford, Miss Latham, I'm afraid I have some terrible news.
We fell in the pond and we are really wet.
You see, we saw a frog sitting on a log.
It was the biggest frog I've ever seen.
It is, it truly is. I got a big whole lot closer, and now I can just reach it.
We fell in, but we got the frog.
I told you not to do it.
You're the one who picked up the bucket for them.
Lucy, please, take the children upstairs so they can get out of their wet clothes. I'm sorry, Miss Latham. I must go too. It was so nice of you to come, and you are going to take it back.
I'll take that bucket out before the frog gets loose there. I have already put some water on the stove to hit.
Come on, Mr. Frog, back outside we go.
I told you not to do it. I will bring the water directly, so please do not. So please be ready for a warm bath.
William, you smell like the pond.
Let's get you home before you get your death of cold. Not very cold, but I am a little hungry.
Oh my, I just knew this was going to be an exciting week.
Now I have to decide whether to arrest Mrs. Stanton or Mr. Frog.